You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
So Kamala Harris was in Detroit yesterday. Her and her new running mate, Tim Walz, were having a speech in an airplane hangar. Go figure. And she copped an attitude with a protester. She made an effort to put that protester in their place.
Crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking. Because we know what that would look like. And again, understand, Donald Trump intends to end the Affordable Care Act and take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions.
I gotta be honest, this rally kind of seemed very forced, you know. It's been no secret that at some of the other events that Kamala Harris has thrown around the country, it's been hard to gather support and gather an audience. Well, this audience was decent size at about, I think they're saying about 10,000 people, but it seemed a very scripted and very controlled environment. And that was because of one reason in particular, is the UAW. United Auto Workers, of course, Detroit being a bastion of auto workers and that industry in particular that has suffered in the past few decades. But every time she said something, they had a response. And that's when it started seeming a little staged to me.
Today, I also bring greetings from our incredible President Joe Biden. That's right. Joe. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, come on. We got business to handle.
The crowd responses were just a little too synchronized. It was like almost as if somebody was coaching them. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Kamala goes on to describe him from all of his accomplishments, all of his career achievements. But one of the things that stuck out to me, this is, I believe, his second time stumping with Kamala, is he's a football coach. So she calls him Coach Walz.
And to his former high school football players, he was coach. And in 90 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by the title Vice President of the United States. Because Coach Walz and I know the middle class built this great country.
And it's supposed to make him very endearing and add a working class element to Kamala. You know, the West Coast liberal attorney general, unpopular vice president. It does add a dimension, but it's still, once again, they're very stilted. They seem very contrived in how they're putting together this campaign. And ultimately, I still don't hear any policy. You hear a lot of attacks on Donald Trump. You hear a lot of attacks how Donald Trump has, plans to do all these nefarious plans and Project 2025. They pulled Project 2025 from the internet and started arguing against it. When Donald Trump has said he denounced Project 2025, which after somebody says they denounce it, how do you still come out and say, oh, well, this is what they're running on, this is their plan for America? And so I think their plan, their strategy here is to argue against the boogeyman of Donald Trump as opposed to what Donald Trump's actual time in office was. Unfortunately, Donald Trump's already a proven commodity. He's actually had 4 years in the job. And that is going to be the real question of this campaign. Were you happier in the 4 years that Donald Trump was president, or are you happier now? And do you want to continue the path that you're on, or would you like to go back to the other path? Kamala uses her canned speech. You know, she has very set speech right now, and they are not deviating from it at all. But she says, we're not going back.
Back because we know what that would look like. And again, understand, Donald Trump intends to end the Affordable Care Act and take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. We all remember what that looked like. And we're not going back. We're not going back.
And so, yeah, she has these lines that she repeats, and it's cute and all, but where's the policy? Where is the policy? What are you going to do? What does a Kamala Harris presidency look like? And I know Tim Walz is there, but the vice presidential candidate can't be more popular than the presidential candidate. I also heard fraternity and sororities were in attendance, which is, you know, I guess Kamala's base of support. Is that going to be enough? You know, because in some ways it seemed like the audience that was there from the UAW was there under duress. They were saying things that just were interjections. It didn't really make any sense. So I don't know. It's getting to a place where it's going to be an interesting campaign.
Our fight is a fight for the future, and it is a fight for freedom. Across our nation, we are witnessing a full-on attack on hard-fought, hard-won fundamental freedoms and rights, and we will not stand for it. Attacks on the freedom to vote, attacks on the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to breathe clean air and drink clean water, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride, and the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. Generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom.
But I don't know what the substance is of this. I don't know what the substance is going to be. And to hear people that are excited about this ticket, it just seems odd. But hey, we'll see. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. Please sign up for my newsletter. That way you can stay up to date on all things happening on Faucette Media. This is Faucette Media.